Good morning, Maple Park. Today is Friday, March 27, 2015.
Today is a day. Today for lunch, there will be Bosco sticks, salt pretzel with cheese, spicy chicken, wings with a biscuit, mixed greens, peas, fresh fruit, and mandarin oranges. Next is an encore presentation of Cobb's.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Cops. Thanks for the questions, Cameron and Sinette. Let me start with Sinette. She asked,
Is training the same for a sheriff as it is for a police officer?
good question. Basic training is the same for either a police officer or deputy sheriff. The academy I attended as a graduate, we were either employed by a police department or a sheriff's department. Now some agencies, KCPD for example, train their own police officers. And a few years ago, Clay County Sheriff's Department had its own academy. So if you'd like to work in law enforcement and don't have a preference for a certain jurisdiction to work in, then there are many agencies that will hire you once you've completed training of the academy of your choice. Second question, Cameron asked,
What type of obstacles did you have to do in your training?
it's another good question. Well, Cameron, if you're talking about physical training, then gosh, where should I begin? Physical training was tough. I was 42 years old when I went through the academy, and I was competing with 20-year-olds. A typical day would start with push-ups and sit-ups, and that was just a warm-up. That was followed by hand-to-hand combat and then ground fighting techniques. Then, more sit-ups, more push-ups. After, we'd end our training with a cadence run, or singing, while we ran around the neighborhood. And some of you may know how difficult it is to sing or even talk while you run. And this was a typical training day. Fridays were the worst. We had to run 1.5 miles for time. Now prior to graduation, we had to run the 1.5 miles in a certain amount of time or we could not graduate. So thinking back at the time, I hated physical training. But as I look back, of all the training that I went through, physical training is probably what I missed the most. Thanks for the questions. Again, if you have a question, turn it in, and we may see you on the next episode of Cops.
Thank you, Officer Johnson.
Now here's Vincent with attendance.
For the week before spring break, attendance winners was 7th grade again with 95.1% attendance, and second place was 6th grade, and lastly was 8th grade with 93.2% attendance rate.
Thank you for watching Maple Park News.